welcome to the Guitar Collection. Today I have the pleasure of sharing with you this Spruce Doubletop made by the American maker Dake Traphagen. Now, this is the first Spruce Doubletop I've played by Dake, and I have to say I am very impressed with many of its qualities. On top of it being an aesthetically really beautiful guitar, its sound quality has this very inviting, humming, warm sound to it that is so charming. Yet, when you push it hard, it really clarifies and it responds well to being pushed, which is a quality that many double tops lack. But before I talk more about the sound and of course play some different examples for you, let's talk a little bit about the specs of this guitar. So like I mentioned, it is a Spruce Doubletop. And actually, why don't I just show you inside? Well, there you have it. You can see the 5 fan braces, as well as the smaller braces scattered around, creating some asymmetry, and likely a lot of the magic that you hear coming out of this guitar. Let's get back to the video. So now that you've seen inside the guitar, let's talk a little bit more about the face of this guitar, the soundboard, and some of the details he has here. So as you can see, he has this really beautiful rosette that actually has a lot of orange in it, some yellows and actually some blues here at the corner. It's a really beautiful rosette. And then actually, if you look down at the bridge, you'll notice there's a matte finish on the rosewood here. And then on the tie block, you'll see a lot of the same colors that you see on the rosette of the guitar. And along the purflings of the instrument, you can see little dashes that actually mimic the outer ring of the rosette. And there's a lot of fine details on this instrument when you look. As well as an armrest, which actually makes it very comfortable to play. And I have to say the armrest is really well done. It's rounded, and even with no arm sock or long sleeve shirt, I feel very comfortable maneuvering my arm along this. Now, definitely not last and definitely not least is this beautiful Brazilian rosewood back and sides, which Dake has provided me with the CITES certification for. And this is over 250-year-old Brazilian rosewood, really beautiful dark stuff with this just red strips through the center that I am a huge fan of. And then when you turn the guitar to the side, you can see these red strips as well as the sound port, which I really like on this guitar. Going over to the neck, I have to say, I am in so much agreement with the way that Dake Traphagen does his neck because it fits my personal preference. It is fairly thin and C-shaped, and I have to say most guitarists are going to find it extremely comfortable. The action is set up to my specifications, something like 3.75 millimeters on the 6th string 12th fret and 2.75 on the 1st string of the 12th fret here. Super easy guitar to play. Moving on to the headstock, you'll see Dake's typical design here, a little bit of a matte finish to match and complement actually the bridge very well. And then you'll have the very precise Sloan tuners here with the white rollers. And overall, it's a very classy design. And gosh, this Brazilian rosewood. From behind the guitar, not even in great light, it is fantastic. Now, let's skip all that. We're going to talk about the sound now. I mentioned a little bit of what I liked, and of course, you can always hear the playing examples and skip what I say. Both at the beginning of the video and at the end of the videos, I always have timestamps so you can click around. But I have to say that this guitar has such an inviting sound. And I was worried when I was about to try this guitar that maybe it would be too bright, because sometimes Spruce guitars can just sound tight and bright, honestly. But the really great ones like this one has a very warm quality, but you still get some of that clarity that Spruce provides, and fundamental. I mean, it's really nice. Listen to this. I mean, it just has such an inviting sound. It's one of those that even if you have your ear this far away from the guitar, it's still going to sound very pleasant. It's not one that has a splash radius where you don't want to really be near it because it's so aggressive to the ears. It's very, very sweet. And here's what I really like, which you might have been able to tell from that first example that I had played, is that when you lean into the guitar a little bit more and press the strings, it intensifies and it clarifies. And this is really great. I mean, this is an exciting quality. You kind of want a guitar that, at least I kind of want a guitar that is very easy to make sound good, but doesn't suffer in terms of clarity. I think these two things are oftentimes at odds. You know, if I play like this, then I'm getting this really sweet sound out of the guitar. But if I press that same type of passage a little bit harder, you can hear that each of these tones is so transparent. I mean, maybe it sounds silly, but some guitars kind of fight back at you when you push really hard. And I know some of you know what I mean. In fact, can some of you validate me here in the comments and tell me you know what I'm talking about? Some guitars just seem to say, hey, don't push that hard. It's not very good if you do. Or like, it tells you, it basically teaches your hands actually, as you get to know certain guitars, to not push it, which for a lot of players isn't a good thing. You know, you want a guitar that can handle all the types of actions that your fingers might wish for the guitar to do, or the sort of willing a sound out of the guitar. You don't always want an aggressive sound, and you don't always want a gentle sound. And I think this guitar does both of those really well. On top of that, I think there's just a really nice sparkle to each of these strings. Let me play a little bit on the first, second, third, fourth, and so on, and you'll see what I mean. That's all really warm zone on the third string, but listen if I brighten it up. And the fourth string. I would say it's really woody of a sound. Spectacular. Yeah, I think I'd like to stand by that original comment of it sounds like someone humming, like your grandfather humming from the garden or something. It's got this type of sound to it. It's a really a joy to get to know this instrument. I mean, if you're looking for a really great double top guitar that doesn't necessarily have all the characteristics that are negatively associated with double tops, this is a really great guitar for you. Dake continues to impress me. I've had now 2 cedar double tops of his, and this is the first spruce double top, as well as I currently have a traditional spruce top guitar of his. And I have to say, these are really fantastic instruments. It's so much fun to get to know them, and it's one of those guitars that just makes you want to keep on playing. So if you're interested in this guitar, definitely check it out at guitarcollection.com. I'll have the link to it in the description of this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I'm uploading new videos of guitars all the time. Lately, it's been Sundays and Wednesdays. Let me know if you guys like that schedule. When do you typically listen to these? I would like to know, not the time of day, but what are you doing? Are you at work? Are you driving? Are you kicking back and seeing what guitars you're interested at the end of a long day? I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching. And without further ado, I'll play some more musical examples on this guitar so you can better get to know it. Thanks so much for watching.